Good morning, everybody. Welcome into a nice, beautiful day here in Delaware County. And man, for this past upcoming week, it's been rough. Let's keep it a bean here. It's been rough to watch Philadelphia sports. We had some crappy, some snowstorms a little bit here in Philadelphia sports. However, not sports, just the weather alone has been we had a couple of snowstorms here and there, but anyway, but the Philadelphia sports week has been rough. We have a hockey team that just has absolutely no direction. They pretty much told you that on Friday. But however, before I bang my head against the table here, let's talk about some positives. And some positives are your 76ers. Just when we were counting them out, show up big time and came up clutch against a 16 winning streak of the Milwaukee Bucks, and they go in there and they take care of business. It was back and forth. It was a tough battle. I really questioned the defensive scheme of the Sixers, why Embiid was on the perimeter on defense and seeing the mismatch between Brook Lopez and James Harden. However, the Sixers came up huge. And like I said, I thought they were down and out in that third quarter. The Sixers just found a way to fight back and win, and I was thrilled. Again, George Niang making some clutch shots off the perimeter. You had James Harden just leading this team to victory. Because Embiid was out of the game for a quite, through the third quarter rather. But you had James Harden really step up and really, find ways to win. Again, being a great, facilitator, shooting the rock from the three, reading the defense. What a good, true leader does. And man, I could not be more thrilled what I've seen with this Sixers team. Again, 38 points for James Harden. And, like I said, I was thrilled what I saw. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Morning, Pat. Sorry I'm a little late this morning, guys.
That's all right.
Kind of overslept a little bit, but
Blue Oyster?
Never mind. I'm gonna back on that route, Pat. For coffee time.
Just getting started.
Just getting started. We're having a little bit of mic issues here.
Hello, Stever.
This mic doesn't want to stay up.
Yeah.
But
please start McDaniels or apply him when he needs to stop. Steve, I hear you, brother. Listen, I need to have Maxey coming off the bench. I mean, not off the bench. I need him to start. He brings more fire when he starts. I get it. I get it. Doc looks for the mismatches and all that other stuff. I need him to start. And like I said yesterday with this Sixers team, it was good. This is, again, they were figuring, just like James Harden said in the post-game interview, he was figuring things out, how to beat this Milwaukee team. And now you leave a bunch of Milwaukeeans quiet this morning because, again, they thought they were going to get their 17th dub, and they didn't.
Well, listen, and it was a great comeback by the Sixers. But let's look at the overall. This 3-game series, or this 6 games, they went 3-3, went 500.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, to be honest with you, Miami scheduled loss. That's their second win. So they play Milwaukee tough. The Sixers do. They do. I mean,
yes,
I think they match up well with Milwaukee.
Right.
So,
all right, let's talk about this gauntlet, Mike, from this past week, because what 3-3, it's better than 2-4, it's better than 1-5. I'll take what it is. Again, like you always allude to the playoffs, but this week here gives you a sample size of what this team is going against contenders. Okay, because when we see them play against the teams like Sacramento or a team that's not even involved,
yeah, they're dominant.
They're dominant. Houston or Orlando, it's not exactly, you're not really slapping your pickle against the bedpost, but you're more thrilled to see, when they beat good teams, beat good quality teams.
Right. They struggle. They're like you on a Saturday night at the Blue Oyster. Struggle.
What?
I mean, they do. I'm sorry, but and if you're coming out of this waving your pom-poms, it was a good win last night. And I'll give them credit for that win.
They didn't quit.
They didn't quit. And they didn't quit in Dallas either. But they lost. They should have beat Dallas. They're a better team than Dallas.
Listen,
or is that a scheduled loss?
No. One thing I can say you took away from these wins and losses that they had over the last 3 games, is that we've always said it as long as Embiid has, who needs the ball at the end, right? That's what you hear all the time. Who needs the ball at the end? In my eyes, if you looked at it, we had two teams have two closers. And what we saw last night in that win, we had two closers. You need to have two guys who can close the game. Because if it's just Embiid, what do you guys? If you're the other team, what are you going to do?
You're just going to cover Embiid.
You're just going to cover Embiid. Like you saw it against Dallas. Okay, Kyrie and Luka both put up 82 points between the two of them.
Right.
That was perimeter defense at its worst.
Yes.
Okay. Both of them, I think they counted for like 23s and got 13 of them, so that's not good. And then you saw with the Celtics, you saw Al Horford start to drop threes.
Brown.
And Tatum got hit for the second half.
And Tatum got his, but it was towards the end. Like Tatum was quiet.
He literally hit. Yeah, he was quiet until it became necessary. I mean, let me ask you a question. What's worse? The guy who hits, we always say let him get his, but as long as it's not the important ones, well, he didn't get his, but he got the important ones.
Right, that's what
you had two guys who were doing their job. We saw that it took two losses for the Sixers to finally say, oh, so it has to be James Harden and Joel Embiid. Oh,
true. I mean, but if you look at that game against the first game against Miami, the one that was here, Jimmy Butler rose to the occasion in that one.
Yes, he did.
So to me, going forward, like I said, it was a good win. It was a statement win for the Sixers. I can't deny that, but I'm looking at it overall. Now, when we did it last week and we said, hey, what are they going to be after these 6 games? I had them at 2-4.
Right.
Because I didn't think they were going to get 3 wins. So, I mean, hey, for them to get 3, they proved me wrong. And
because and I was on the opposite shoe. I was at 4-2. But again, look, they split. I'm okay with it. Like you said, the perimeter defense out needs to step up, and they need to figure something out there. Because for these guys to get great spacing, and do what they need to do on the perimeter, and just to cook you, you can't have that. And again, when I saw the double team from Greek Freak and Brook Lopez, I was a little terrified. I was like, that might be too much for Embiid to handle. But like I said, it was a great game from James Harden, and it was great facilitating. And if you go back though to that Miami game without him, I think they were more prepared. They had more preparation to have that team run through Tobias Harris.
Well, I like what Steve says right here. It says it seems like Joe's really fighting that foot in the first half, and it seems to loosen up as the game goes on.
Well, that's why I criticized him with the All-Star break. And I usually don't criticize Joel Embiid too much, except for when he gets a little outlandish.
Right. Yeah, especially when he says, "What? I'm not going to play," and then you see him run up.
And it's just not even that. Like, it's a meaningless exhibition game. Meaningless. If it's about money, you get paid plenty. You're fine to skip this game. And at the same time, you're upset that you got snubbed in that sense.
Yeah.
You're upset that Harden got completely snubbed from the All-Star game, and since the All-Star game, Harden's been like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm an All-Star. Okay, hold my beer. Like that's what we've been getting from him. Last night, Harden goes off again and 38 points, 9 rebounds.
I think they're going to need more.
10 assists, 5 threes.
They're going to need this Harden going forward.
They are. My question to you guys is, the problem is they got to all play at the top of their game. You need 3 guys playing at the top of their game throughout the game. And like I'm saying, like Maxey hitting his 20+ points, but being that fiery,
spark
plug. Yeah, that's a good one. Spark plug who's just fighting through, and keeping guys off balance and hitting those shots. And then you got James Harden who's driving the ball. He's picking up on the mismatches and he's doing a good job. But my point is, can they all play at this level? And here's your biggest Sixers fan right here,
Freddie Burns.
They can love this team. Too much heart and resilience every night. They never quit. And I'll give Freddie that as well.
Yeah,
even in that Celtics game, even in that Mavericks game, that game got away from them fast. They were in it at the end.
Yeah.
Every game they were in, they were down 12+ points, I think I saw last night.
And
the last 3 games.
Again, they figure how to battle back. Like I said, some of these games, like you just alluded to, slip away from their hands. But however, you can't deny this team. And again, they're very good with that elbow shot from the inside the paint. So I mean, they're really, really good with that. They just, like I said, to me, and I alluded this to with Bob Cooney last week, to me, they need a real consistent 3-point shooter. And I know like I said, they need that 3-and-D guy. Someone who can shoot the three, play defense. They need that kind of guy. But we all know it's alarming. They definitely need that perimeter defense. And like I said, I wasn't too thrilled with the beginning of yesterday's game because I saw Joel Embiid on the perimeter playing defense, and I saw Brook Lopez inside the paint with his mismatches against James Harden. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, whoa, time out. Let's switch some things up here.
Yeah,
Are you Canadian? Did I miss something over last time? What a boot!
Canadian by injection.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Tobias Harris is worthless and Tucker is worthless.
I disagree with. I disagree with Tobias Harris being worthless because Tobias Harris has been he's been steady. So,
and then it goes Dave Yarnell. Why did Doc wait so long to put McDaniels in this game? I can't figure out his rotation.
I don't think he can. I think he's just trying to work through it right now. I think he's trying to work through his rotations to see what's going to work, what isn't going to work.
And I think people have to understand this is like a common narrative that I hear a lot. Well, they're trying to figure out what's the best combination. Well, guess what, guys? One night, one combination might be better against one team
against the other,
and the next team.
Right, you got to adjust. You're not playing the same team here.
Like they keep bringing up the fact: should Maxey start? Should Maxey not start? And I guess right now everything is leaning like he should start. But at the same time, if the matchup's not there where Maxey should start and he should be a sixth man, then so be it. If Tobias Harris should be coming off the bench, then so be it. Like I think we get caught up in the
starters,
in the starting thing, because in basketball it's the matchups in my eyes.
Right. So, and that's, like I said, that's what they need to work on. Perimeter defense is such a problem, though. I like how Doc moved Embiid onto Giannis and Niang on Lopez. Agree to disagree with you, Freddie. I definitely like the move. Like I said, to obviously put Embiid on the Greek Freak, but however, like I said, the mismatching between Lopez and everyone else. I mean, yeah, they need something else going on there because, like I said, Brook Lopez 26 points, Greek Freak 34, and our boy Drew Holiday with 26, and Grayson Allen, who turned out that out of nowhere was a third quarter killer for the Milwaukee Bucks. Putting out 20 points. I mean, we couldn't have we needed to adjust to him. But however, like I said, this Sixers team found a way to battle back and making those adjustments.
Now, let me ask you a quick question, Pat. From what I took out of this, anyhow, you too.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I want both of you guys.
Well,
not that way.
That sounds like Pat.
There goes a drop of the week right there. But no, with them playing these close games, right? Do you feel like I feel like that's going to benefit them going forward?
Oh yeah, I listen. If you think about it, if you break this down, and I'm not a moral victory guy, I keep saying that, but I keep bringing this up. But like, you had a game where it came down to Tatum hitting a clutch three with seconds left in the game. That was on them not playing good perimeter D, as Freddie brought up earlier, and not getting on the guy who is going to break your back if you do. Dallas game, like I said, they were down a lot of points. You got two guys scoring. I mean, here's the thing: is I feel like it's so snake bitten. Every time, like, Kyrie has not had a good game since he's been in Dallas. Drops 42 points on the Sixers. Hitting threes like they're, like they're right in front of them. But like, my point is, this team has the resilience. You saw that one game where who were they playing? Where Embiid literally hits a shot. If it was a half. The Boston game. Like, those are the kind of things that should make you feel okay if they just keep getting through these. Like, they'll be more battle tested, which can be a good and a bad thing. It kind of goes either way. Mm-hmm. It's a good way because they'll be ready for the playoffs maybe before some of the other teams, but it's a bad way because hopefully they're not. It's not a physical issue.
Right. Pat, what's your take?
No, again, all past 2 weeks, it's been playoff-like atmosphere. What we wanted, what we want to see. Again, the measuring stick was out on this team. And to see this team rise to the occasion, like I was just alluding to be in these games, to battle back when they were down, to all those things, and losing by nose hairs, I'm fine with that. again, you definitely need some some defense, and just like Freddie was saying, that's where you're falling apart. But again, I'm happy with this team is going. I love what they're doing. I love with the fact that this team knows how to battle, knows how to fight, doesn't quit.
I
Shown,
just, I think whoever comes out of the East is going to win the NBA championship because the East is a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
What?
There's your drop.
How do you pronounce that?
He said, none of their French fried potatoes.
Wow. You got all kinds of sounds coming out of you this morning, buddy. How was your night last night?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
No, I'm sorry. I take that back. But no, I'm serious. Like, oh man, we all need.
We know how to bust it out here.
We all got to go to church after this show. Anyway, but no, seriously, going forward, like they did some things in this 6 games that kind of surprised me a little bit because I've been skeptical on them. I've been thinking, they're going to get to the second round. I even said yesterday when I was on Patterson Avenue guys, Patterson Avenue Fanatics. I was on with James, with Joey.
Oh yeah, Mike Lorio made it.
Yeah, Mike Lorio made an appearance on the Patterson
your
Avenue.
twin brother.
Yeah, my twin. And I said to them guys,
different last names.
2 different twin, yeah. My dad and the milkman. Nice. But I said to them yesterday, I was like, I felt like to me that the end goal with the Sixers is I think they can reach the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they can get to a finals. I still don't think that because I think the better teams are going to get there. And until they can beat Boston, they're going to be in our way. And I'll tell you what, I'm not sleeping on the Knicks either because the Knicks seem also to play the Sixers very tough as well. Along with, again, you saw what they split with Miami. And I do think that they match up well with Milwaukee. And we kind of get the better of Milwaukee. So I'm not really sold on them in a 7-game series. I think the Sixers can actually beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But it's the matchups with teams that give them a little bit of trouble. Like the Knicks give them a little bit of trouble. Miami gives them trouble. Boston, they haven't figured out how to beat. So to get to an NBA final, you're going to have to beat those guys. You know what I mean? And that to me, I just think when it comes time to have to beat them, I don't trust Doc. Or I'm sorry, Glenn. I don't trust Glenn.
And Freddie brings up a good point. The Mavericks game, teams are not going to hit shots like that all the time, even playing bad perimeter defense. Guys, there's been Al Horford hitting all those threes. Those are kind of things that aren't going to be able to happen in 7-game series.
You just got to tip your cap.
Dude. But there's going to be games like that. But
yeah and no, because you're going to have to figure like when someone gets hot like that, you need to figure how to shut them down. And they're going to get theirs.
Guys, I'll remind you that we're not that far from St. Patty's Day, right? A little for all those Irish people in the area and want to be Irish people in the area. And the best place to go is Dolan's Bar, Delco's greatest Irish dive. And guess who'll be hosting it this year? Brent Porsche from WMMR will be there in the house, hosting it right there at 24 East Sellers Avenue from 3 to 7 p.m. He'll be on the air at the Big D, enjoying a great time with them. Live bands, food, vendors, drink specials. If you've ever been to a St. Patty's Day celebration in the Philadelphia area, you haven't been to Dolan's yet because it is a good time. I've celebrated quite a few St. Patty's Day there. So check out Dolan's at 24 East Sellers Avenue and go say hi to Brent Porsche while you're there.
And if you're done doing your celebrating on St. Patty's Day and you happen to run into a little bit of trouble, make sure you give our guy David Archeri a call for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. You can reach him at www.cherryinjurylaw.com or at 610-565-0300. Tell them the boys at EOP sent you.
And guys, if you're looking for an upcoming Phillies trip this season, look, we get it. All the spring training is sold out. However, listen, you guys want to go to a Yankee Stadium coming up April 3rd? Go do it, man. This is the time to get on board with Philly sports trips. I mean, look at all the great trips here on your screen. You can go to Yankee Stadium. If you want to go down to the NFL draft to Kansas City, I would not recommend rocking a Eagles jersey because we kind of feel like the loser side, but go do it anyway. But anyway, go down to the Eagles draft and look right here. Here goes the total package for you. This will grab you right by the junk. go, if you guys want to, if you're a 5 for 5 guy, you guys want to go out to see a Union game, Union and versus Colorado, and then head over to see Phillies take on the Rockies. Go ahead and go check it out. So that you can make a whole weekend right there. And if guys, how about this? Going across the pond is your Philadelphia Union. So guys, hop on to the Philly Sports Trips. Go on there, tell them EOP sent you.
And don't forget, if you're staying local, you need some great tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com, family owned and operated since 1946. The price you see on the screen is the price you pay. You will not get bamboozled at checkout with some crazy service fees, and save yourself an additional 10% off by using that promo code EOP10.
So, Mike, look, let's continue the conversation a little further here with the 76ers. Again, great comeback win. Really adjusted. And I love the way that, like, again, that James Harden took leadership on the floor and directed a moral victory. Just when the big man was going out, you kind of bit your nails, like, oh boy, this team's going to be shot in the butt. But no, he really adjusted to what they were throwing at him. Again, he read that defense like a playbook, and just finding guys open on the perimeter. Just, again, that move at the very end where he was going in, looks like you were double teaming him, and he winds up making that backward pass to Joe Embiid, and he just takes it in. Really put the nail in the coffin for the 76ers to take this W.
The thing I liked about Harden's performance last night is that he really kind of kept him. He kind of kept him off balance. If you looked at it, like Milwaukee didn't know whether it looked like Milwaukee didn't know whether he was going to shoot or pass.
Hey, Dave, I don't know where you've been at through this whole entire show. We mentioned about we mentioned the defense. I mean, we've alluded to the perimeter defense has been an issue. We get it. You're a Debbie Downer. You like to throw a wet blanket on your noodle, but however, the Sixers won. Be happy. Just be happy, Dave. It's okay. But anyway,
I don't even know where to go with that one. I'm gonna let it go.
And the Knicks are rebound better than anyone.
It's a nightmare scenario. He's right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, this is, like I said, last night to me, when I was watching, because I didn't catch much of the first half. I was, with the better half, and we were out and about. But when I got to see the second half and I watched the end of that game. They were moving. He was really facilitating. And like I said, he really had Milwaukee. I felt like he had Milwaukee off balance.
Yeah.
Like they had no idea where he was going with the ball. And he was finding the open guy. I mean, like I said, Niang hit a couple big threes last night.
Especially in that fourth. He came up huge.
Right, exactly. You had Maxey tearing the cover off the ball. I mean, this is kind of what we envisioned when we got James Harden. Another thing is, can he sustain it?
Well, I think last night you also saw the best Harden Embiid game since Harden got here.
Yep.
I'm not going to say here goes, oh, here's they're coming out, like this is it, guys. They're going on a run. But this, I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that this is the best game that tandem has had. I mean, even post game, you see them kind of like hugging each other. Like, I'm not saying they never had a good camaraderie with them, but this was definitely the best.
I'll tell you what, though, and this is one thing through all these games here, the Sixers are going to give you their 60 minutes. They're going to give you 60 minutes of fighting. And just because it looks like when they're down and out, they're going to figure things out. They're going to make their adjustments. Okay, we need, and that's what James Harden alluded to on the post game. All right, we'll figure it out as we go against you, especially in that second half. Here goes our man Sean Kilrain. He goes, "What's up, guys?"
You got Luka with 42 points on 13 for 22 and 12 assists. Kyrie Irving recorded 40 points of 15 for 22, shooting and 6 assists. Hopefully this is the last we see. Listen, there is going to be games, and I think Sean has a point. There's going to be games like this.
Yeah, I mean, but those guys get paid too.
I mean, remember when we were all excited when Harden came here and we had first game against the Nets and Simmons is dressed like a giant bumblebee or whatever the heck he was wearing, and
we got waxed.
And we got waxed, and it's going to happen. Those games are going to happen, but yeah, I think Sean. I don't think you're going to see that much more often. They're going to not let that happen again. Happen now better than happening in the postseason.
Yeah, I totally agree. And just looking at the upcoming schedule, I just you have the Pacers tomorrow night. You have Timberwolves. You have Trailblazers, and they're not what they used to be. You got the Wizards, Cleveland, Okay, you got, but throughout the rest of the March, I mean, up until about the 25th, the last week when you go out west, you got some big, Western games coming up. The Suns, the Nuggets, the Mavericks again. So again, not, but like through this next 2 weeks, it should be an easy ride for the Sixers.
There's
Should be.
our boy Schmitty checking in.
Oh, the
He says,
Smitster.
I think it's so funny that people say Tucker is worthless. Obviously, you don't watch games. He's been so big defensively all year.
Yeah, he's been great in the paint all year. And look, he comes up with clutch 3-pointers too. I agree with Smitty on that one.
I do. I think Tucker. When you signed him, you knew what he was. Anybody who thought Tucker was going to be that guy who's going to give you 20 and 10, no, it's not his game.
Yeah, no, right. That's not, if you're looking for, like you said, big point production. No, it's not. I mean, he comes off some cut shot, some big shots from the perimeter, and he plays, like Smitty said, he plays really good paint defensively. He's really, really solid. So again, when Embiid's on the perimeter playing defense, he's kind of down low. So that's where the adjustments are.
Streaks were meant to be ended. 16 games is a hell of a win streak. Great win on the road. See, Dave's happier now.
Oh, there you go, Dave. Now your heart is Christmas candy.
Yeah, well, and it's that's, I think, it would also made last night a little better, because last night, I don't want to say it was a must-win game, but in some ways it was. Like, you can't let the team in front of you go 17 games and feel comfortable, because I don't even know what their next game is, and they go up and
And think about all the momentum the Bucks had going in. Like you said, 17 games.
And you had Giannis, you had Middleton, you had these guys playing. Like,
Middleton did nothing last night. Trust me, he cost me my parlay last.
But that's my thing, is you played a full strength Bucks team. You were down at 1 point. I think the biggest lead differential, I think, was 18.
Oh, it was 18?
18. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. So it was 18. So take that, and hopefully the whole building block and moving forward. But it's important. These games are important. So
yeah, exactly right. So look, man, great win, Mike. What's your final takeaway from this game though last night?
Sixers showed a lot of resiliency. I was glad to see Glenn make good decisions in this game. Like I said, I love how he, I don't know, man.
Listen, you have to listen. We chew him up when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give him his props where things go right.
Yeah.
I think even we posted on EOP's social media last night. Doc admitted to knowing the call was not going to be overturned, but he called it to show Embiid he's got his back. So that's a good coaching strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, now if that costs you an important challenge, then
yes,
it is what it is.
So, Al, what about you? What was your final takeaway from this game?
Kind of back what I was saying earlier. Like, it was the best combo double threat job we've seen from Harden and Embiid since Harden got here over a year ago. This is the best team win, beating a 16 streaking win team in the Milwaukee Bucks. You had a full strength team, so there's no Giannis didn't play or Middleton wasn't there. We were missing two important guys in Tobias Harris and PJ Tucker. So if anything, we would have had the excuse to work with. But ultimately, I think that's what I take from it. Hopefully, this is where you move forward.
Yeah. So my takeaway is I think they're definitely going to move forward with this. And like I said, great leadership I saw from James Harden on the floor, facilitating, making clutch shots, making big plays, 38 points. You had, again, and it's nice to see Tyrese Maxey just making some big plays. Again, 26 points. It was a solid big night for him. 26 points. And how about, like you alluded to a little bit earlier, George Niang, 5 from 6 from the perimeter.
Yeah.
That's what you needed. And especially, like I said, in that fourth quarter, he came up huge for the Sixers. So again,
this is what Georgie was saying. The Sixers had leaders on the court, the Bucks didn't. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to answer.
Well, I would like to know what that means. I'm gonna look. I mean, like, is Giannis?
I don't.
Yeah.
Georgie's he's a Milwaukee native.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I want a little bit more clarification. Like, is he? Are they? I mean, listen, that team has won a championship in recent years, and Giannis won. My question is this like sour grapes on Giannis? Is this? I don't understand. I would like him to clarify that.
Okay. Another thing too, Ryan Smitty, he put up there that the Sixers would smoke the Knicks. Not so fast, man. That Knicks team is very vast improved, and I'll tell you what, they can rebound. They can rebound. They're probably the best rebounding team in the NBA. Something the Sixers kind of, you know, they kind of showed the last time they played them, right? I mean, the Knicks
Right.
beat them the last time they played them, so it's not out of the realm that the Knicks can't hang with the Sixers. Um,
If they came down to a series,
if it's a 7-game series, I can see the Sixers winning the series, but
yeah, it would. If anything, I would give the next 2 games.
Ryan brings up another thing. Rivers coaches a hell of a game last night. McDaniels was big defensively. McDaniels was
Yeah.
big. Does McDaniels see more playing time or starting time?
I see him doing
Playing time.
Playing time. I don't think he's starting.
No, not starting. It wouldn't be a bad move to have him, start, just to get your defense going. But like I said, I think he's going to get more playing time. Giannis was 16 for 18 from the line. Line also was unbelievable. Sixers overcame a ton last night. Yeah, they did.
I mean, every game, at least we said the stretch of games is going to be difficult. And we saw that, and we're seeing, and my point to this is you had a game where it came down to a clutch shot from Tatum, and you missed taking this game in overtime with a full court shot by a half a second. And you also were down. You had the Mavericks team with 2 guys who scored 82 points, and that was a close game in the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they really kind of showed something there. The only game really, and I'll tell you what, even the game they lost here against Miami, they only lost by 2. So it was, like the Sixers really kind of impressed me over these last 6 games and what they were doing. If they can keep doing this and getting better and maybe start chipping away and beating a team like Boston, the Sixers are going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out no matter what. I still think they're one of the 3 best teams in the East.
Totally agree, Joe. Joe says biggest win of the year. I totally agree.
Question: why are you looking like MJ?
Yeah, well,
over here?
listen. I'm glad you brought that up because
Well, we're not going to pull out the fact that he developed the whole accent since we last talked to him.
Yeah, that's who.
He's a Canadian in one shot. Now I don't know where we're going with this.
Canadian and Ambler.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, what's up?
First of all,
you got the whole scarf thing on.
First of all, you're coming. You're coming in here rocking a San Diego Chargers.
Yes, a San Diego Chargers jersey in March. Bro. I'm wearing.
What does it matter? It's our Eagles.
I'm wearing my throwback Sean Merriman jersey.
Great, yippee!
You wore Giants colors the night the Eagles are.
Giants. It's a polo shirt. You're rocking another team.
Yes, I am. I
had the Niners shirt when I was a kid. You're a grown man wearing that garbage.
So I like Sean Merriman.
He's not an Eagle.
So what?
You need it. No, you can't be doing that.
Yes, I can. It's real simple. I went out, bought it. It fits me. Look, it's a Sean Merriman.
Did you not read the Philadelphia?
No, you cannot root for another team. It didn't say I couldn't buy it.
You're wearing the man's colors.
Damn right.
It's not green.
I like the way he plays. I like the way he played. Sorry.
So you keep that tucked away in your closet.
No,
you don't
I
wear
don't.
that in public.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question
They're
though?
throwing tomatoes at you.
You're wearing a guy's shirt. Jersey who played for Maryland, and you're wearing a Penn State hat.
I know.
I
know we went to.
You want to talk about confusing out of the closet, right there. But anyway,
What? No, hold on. Mouth and Mind are playing Marco Polo over here with this one this morning.
But listen, I understand. I look like a buffoon wearing Flyers gear. I understand.
No, I just want to know why you got a neck thing on inside here.
Because listen, I'm going to show everyone here that I'm in true support. Not really.
No, I'm not because
you're a Flyers fan, but you're not a fan of the Flyers right
yes,
now. Is that what
when
you're
you give me the floor on this one, I am going to explode. That's all I'm about to say. I've been holding it in a little bit.
Go ahead, Mike. Take it, because this team stinks.
No, the team stinks. The ownership stinks.
Yes, Mike.
The general manager should have been fired 2 years ago. Flyers fans, all right, if you're a season ticket holder, you want change? Do not re-up your season tickets. People on the waiting list, tell them no. Say, until you put a product that I want to go see, stick them tickets where the sun don't shine. I don't want to spend $40 to come down and park in your stadium and go drink at, Xfinity Live before the game. No, I don't want to do that. That's the only way you send a message. And for God's sakes, Comcast, sell the damn team. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing. You're hiring people who don't know what they're doing. And the one guy that me and you didn't want is the guy I actually feel
Makes
bad
the
for.
most common sense.
Makes the most common sense, and I feel so bad for him. How the hell do you not trade James Van Riemsdyk? How do you not trade Ivan Provorov? How do you not trade Kevin Hayes? How do you not trade them?
Again, Mike.
I'm gonna take a bag of pucks for JVR.
And this is what I told you earlier in the year. You need not to show up. They need to see no fans. And if Wednesday during the first period, I tweeted out, I said, wait a minute. You got these roaches coming in from New York who's taking over the Wells Fargo Center. If that ain't the biggest, you ever go like, if you ever, I don't think I want to have, but I mean, you ever like go in your garage and you see, a bunch of bugs spread out and all that, they just took over your place. Like it's like a Joe's apartment, right? With all the crickets up in there. But again, this is disgusting. This is, like I said, how's that not a slap to the face of the front office? And
It's a slap because listen.
And I would blame. I'm going to go your route of blaming Chuck Fletcher, but this has been going on before Chuck Fletcher.
I know it. That's why I said I love him. I love him.
You ever watch the movie Moneyball where you get all those old men who tell Brad Pitt how to construct this team, and he wants to go a whole different direction, and they're like, no, I know what I know. I know. This is all those old guys like Bobby Clark and Paul Holmgren. They sit in that garage, the Flyers garage, and they tell construct this team with how to win, find muckers and grinders of how to win hockey games. And they have no clue. This has been going on. And
now, stop. Hold on. I gotta let you. I gotta stop you right there because they're not. We're not going out getting muckers and grinders. Did you not forget? Literally just a few years ago, they signed Steven Stamkos. We had Steven Stamkos.
I totally agree with Steve here. Flyers have been chasing the league for the past 15 years.
Well, yeah, roughly. But it's not like they didn't try. They signed him to an offer sheet. It just so happens that Tampa managed. Tampa matched. So he decided to stay in Tampa. That's about it. You can't fault them for trying. They've gone out and tried to get players. Just so happens that once that crest, that orange, that Flyers crest goes on their chest, they seem to forget how to play hockey.
Speaking of hockey, they didn't even try to go for Johnny Hockey. They should have got you.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into this.
Yeah.
What has Johnny Hockey brought to Columbus? Absolutely nothing.
Well, listen, you bring Johnny Hockey into this, or anybody of that ilk into this team this year, it's not for this year. Right. It's not to make a this year difference. It's to bring more guys in the coming years. And listen, I agree with you guys 1,000% in the sense the New York Rangers embarrassment we saw, that sea of blue that night was almost as bad as a Mets fan throwing out the first pitch of a Phillies game.
Yeah, that happened.
So, and I'm going to use the term almost as bad, and it's a disconnect from the organization, from the fans. My problem is they haven't done anything to make it better. They have become the bad news bears. They're not even that. They're more like a joke, a comedy skit, a cartoon character of what an NHL team. I mean, they had like broadcasting issues 2 games ago.
We are the thrift store of the NHL. It's embarrassing. And again, back to your point, if you at least attempt to get Johnny Hockey in here, again, a goal scorer in parallel with a connecting like, that would have been something different. But no,
they put a price tag on what Johnny Hockey was. He wanted more money. He got his money in Columbus. And what has he done in Columbus, Pat?
He's had 15 goals in 40.
Where is Columbus? Still below the Flyers in the standings.
Yeah, listen.
No. Look at it. What has Johnny Hockey done?
It's a team play. Again, that's another team with no direction.
So what would have been the difference if he would have been here?
Because you could have at least showed people you wouldn't get goal scoring here.
No, Pat. Stop. He wouldn't have done nothing here. It would not have mattered. This is where you look at the name, you see the lights. Oh, he's going to help. No, stop. He would not have helped this team. The Flyers made him an offer. He took the more expensive offer at Columbus. The team he's on is worse than the Flyers.
And I agree. He was looking for a payday. I get all that, but again, you should have thrown more money.
No.
I'm sorry, you get a superstar. You pair him up with Travis Connecting. You got something.
No,
but no, this team.
No, you don't. Kevin Hayes was a goal scorer. They teamed him up.
Kevin Hayes is not a goal scorer. He can't even spell score.
Really? When they signed him, he was a goal scorer. He's coming off one of his best offensive years.
Wait, isn't he having a career year
Oh,
this year?
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't.
A career.
Come on, man. Stop.
He can't
that
even spell a year.
nonsense.
But
Stop with that
anyway-
nonsense.
But
Johnny
anyway,
Hockey. I'm glad he's there because you know why? It would have been another. It would have been another bona fide superstar contract that we would have to try to offload in another 3 or 4 years when the guy decided he didn't want to play at home anymore. Like I don't care. They tried to get him. He decided to go to Columbus. He did not make a difference. If he's a generational talent, okay, if he's like a Sidney Crosby or on that tier of a player or an Alexander Ovechkin, he changes the culture the first year he gets there. I don't want to hear it. He has done nothing. Yeah, he's put the puck in the net. Big deal. Where's his team at? His team's below the Flyers, who we think stink and is the worst team in the NHL.
they are the worst team in the NHL.
Well, obviously not, because Johnny Hockey and his Blue Jackets stink more than the Flyers do.
Listen, maybe they got, but maybe they have more of a direction. Maybe they want to, okay, and build around them.
Yeah, they have more of a direction. They're trying to stink for Bedard too.
Right. No, they are trying to.
Johnny Gaudreau and Bedard. Ugh.
Yeah.
Now that might be something. Now that there, you
got something working. We don't have anything working. We don't have nothing. We are a thrust, or we don't have anything.
We have a decent head coach. That's it. I mean, and we got some decent core
And
players.
that's another thing. You have a head coach. Is there a disconnect here? Is Tortorella just saying, "Screw you, Flyers"? Like, go ahead, fire me. Like, I really don't care at this point. With some of the comments he's made over the last.
No, I think he knows his boss is a lame duck and he doesn't care.
All right, we have a phone call here, and I did not put the number out. Do I take this call?
Sure.
All right, I'll keep my finger on the button just in case. Here we go.
Oh crap!
All right, caller, you're on the line with PM and the AM. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Joe from South Philly. I'm just calling to say I love your show.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for tuning in, bud.
Yeah. So I tried to text in, had a hard time. I was listening to you guys. Listen, Pat, you have to let go of Johnny Hockey.
Come on, Vince.
I have to just. You have to let it go. I mean, listen. I've tried to convince this of other people. Like, some people, you just don't get what you want. And in this case, we had a bonehead for a general manager and an absentee ownership group.
Listen, Joe, this team, this team's on the downhill. Okay, we understand that there is no direction. You need help. This team needs help, Joe. How do you turn around this team? We've talked about this on Wednesday night. We've all alluded. Even Matty B said it perfect. What they're going to do is they're going to let go of Chuck Fletcher in the offseason, and then they're going to bring in somebody and say, "Here, clean up the slop." That's what they're going to do.
Good.
And I don't disagree with Matt, but I also feel like there's one piece of that missing. Chuck Fletcher was hired by an absentee ownership group. The ownership group is the one that really is to blame.
Yes.
Who hired Chuck Fletcher? The ownership group. Who put Chuck Fletcher in charge? The ownership group. This would have never happened on Ed Snyder's watch.
Dave Scott, I don't know. Look, no disrespect to Mr. Snyder, but, the team wasn't really rock and rolling. It was kind of the same mistakes when he was around, my opinion.
He had 2 cups, Pat.
Yeah, from 19 when dinosaurs were walking the earth.
It's better than most franchises out there.
I don't know. I don't know about
he never adjusted to the league.
I don't know about that one, Joey. Only reason being is like I've watched expansion teams now pass the Flyers in Stanley Cup, so that's why kind of like what I'm saying here. Like I'm sick of it. Like Al brought up a few weeks ago, like we've been saying, at the end of this year, their second Cup run, that championship team, that ring comes off the Stanley Cup. So now there's basically no record of the Flyers ever winning the Stanley Cup, except it'll be in Toronto. So to me, 50 years is long enough. They need to get off their ass and fix something.
And Mike, to you, like, again, yesterday, I'm going through all my autographs and looking at, all the great times I had been a Flyers fan, looking at pictures I had with Joe, the Watson brothers, and the autograph picture I got from John LeClaire, and there's the one he made on the Rangers. They would not settle for a Rangers takeover. it would be eating them alive.
Listen, stop with this whole takeover. That whole takeover thing is because Flyers fans sold their tickets. Like I don't even know. I want more takeovers at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, but it's as a player that eats you alive. Like you're seeing, as a
They
rival
don't
come
care
over.
about that, bro. They're getting paid. They're getting paid to go out there and play. They do not look. Not one of their guys look up in the stands and go, "Oh wow, look, it's mostly Rangers fans here tonight." Like, come on, dude. It's
a sign to you. Your team stinks.
It's a different time.
I understand
It's a different time. Back then, maybe I could agree with you and say, you know what? Maybe they might look up and go, "Damn, man, there's a lot of Rangers fans here tonight." These players now, they don't care about that. When they show up at that building, all they're worried about is getting on the ice, playing that game, and collecting their checks. They could care less about the fans inside, and that's all there is to it. But Joey,
I brought this up to Mike yesterday, and we talked about Johnny Hockey and the fact that he went to Columbus, and what's really in Columbus is paycheck. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. He could have gone to many teams that would have given a better chance for him to win a Stanley Cup, but that didn't matter to him. And if Chuck Fletcher would have gotten off his ass to really do the moves that he really could have done to free up the money to get Johnny Hockey, because he said, "Oh, there was no money to get." No, there was. Me and the guys have talked about this. There were moves to happen that you could have pulled the trigger on in order to set the field up for you to get Johnny Hockey. But this franchise has missed on so many superstars. It's a joke now.
Yeah, and it is. And you look around just the Philadelphia sports landscape. It's embarrassing how a team like the Flyers, who are so passionate, and again, it always will be my number one love. However, in reality, I push them lower than whale poop, because in the ocean there's nothing lower than whale poop, and that's where they're at. They are terrible. They are horrible. I mean, seriously, you look at the Eagles and you look at the Phillies, you look at the Sixers, you look at the Union, you look at the Wings, who are in a playoff now hunt. Where are the Flyers? Nowhere. Playing with their pickles. That's it. That's all this team's good for, is a joke. We are the if a team comes into South Philly, I remember when it used to be in South Philly, it was a tough place to play. No, they come in South Philly, grab their cheese steak, slap around the Flyers, and go home.
That's what I'm saying.
And they'll max 2 points. That's all they are. Is all max 2 points.
And guess what? This is what I need. I need to see more of this. I want to see Islander fans come down here. Hell, where's the Dirty Devil fans? They need to come too.
Well, I'm
Pittsburgh, offer a bus trip. Bring in busloads.
Take your Philly sports trips and come here.
Yeah, Pittsburgh sports trips. Come here. Like I want our building to be so filled up with opposing fans.
You might get that tonight.
That you have to literally make a change. Either which way, though, if you look at it, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know how Red Wing Detroit fans are making their way down here.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of pulled out the hole themselves. I mean, 5-game losing streak. They've
Patisms are on a roll today, bro.
That and his accent, man. He is on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, look,
but I agree with you guys in the sense that let them see this. And I disagree with Mike in one way. It may not bother. I think I understand what you're saying. It doesn't bother the players as much as it used to.
It's going to bother the fans. It'll bother us.
It should bother the ownership.
Yes.
They're all about making money, and it doesn't matter who buys the tickets as long as the tickets are being sold. But the problem is this one big nut, when you have one good night where you have a lot of people coming in, but it's from the opposing team, is you're going to chase away the other guys, because you're not going to get Red Wing fans there. You're not going to get West Coast team fans there. You're not going to get all this. So you're going to get one good nut one night, but the rest of it you're going to be giving tickets away for free, and you're going to lose. And then you're going to have no draw. Look at this. Look at the Phillies. When you win, even if you don't win the whole thing, you win. You got guys who want to come here. You get a superstar here. You get people who want to follow them here. Look at the Birds. They got people who are going to look. Free agency's right around the corner.
They're going to want people to come here.
People are going to want to come here. You're probably going to get some deals for guys who are probably going to get a couple bucks more somewhere else, but they're going to want to play with Jalen Hurts. Look at the whole AJ Brown thing. I mean, it was a good signing. It was a good deal, and it's because if that wasn't Jalen Hurts and he knew what he was capable of, he may not have done it for that price. So that's my
And
point. Is
the one
this
thing-
is very uninspiring place to play.
The one thing that you bring up, Al, with all those examples is the idea that all the ownerships of those teams care. They all care about winning. They all care about putting a product out there that's still going to make them more money. And I hate to make a joke on my own self, but with the Flyers ownership, I lost my vision a year ago. That guy lost his vision when he took over for Ed Snyder. I mean, this guy has no sight to what's going on in the ice.
No, and I agree. And again, I think the GM title is just a title. I think it goes above and beyond. I think it's the old hags that hang around the pretty much. Yes, it is.
It's nothing to do with the. You keep bringing up Bobby Clark and Paul Hogan. Bobby Clark is sitting somewhere in Florida.
No. They're all hanging around that off. When you become a Flyer, you pretty much engrave your tombstone in one of those suites.
Bro, Bobby Clark is in Florida enjoying retirement. So is Paul Holmgren. I mean, I think Paul has something to do with the organization, but it has nothing to do with the major decisions.
Every carnival, everything they have everywhere, as far as community, guess who the two guys are always hanging out? You get the Hound,
I believe
Clarkie.
Paul Holmgren has something to do with.
He's the poison apple. Yeah, he's the executive of executive. They give titles to people.
What'd you say? Hold on, Joey. What'd you say? You said he was with the Kraken?
I think he has something to do with the Kraken. He's like an executive advisor or something.
Right. I maybe. I'm not sure, but I like you keep bringing up Bobby Clark and Paul Hogan. They have nothing to do with this.
I'm telling you, they got something.
They have Bobby Clark is putting his teeth in Alka-Seltzer and playing golf in Florida, dude. Come on, stop.
But I mean, look at the moves that they've made so far. They've got trade considerations from Nashville for Isaac Ratliff. They got Brandon Lemieux for Zach McCune.
That was a good trade, I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't think so. Brandon Lemieux, 27 games.
It wasn't going to move the needle.
No, definitely didn't.
What was Zach McEwen doing?
Nothing, but I mean, 0 goals, 3 assists, 27 games. Yeah, real lightning rod that one is. Flyers get a 6th-round pick for the Senators for Patrick. 6th-round pick from the Senators for Patrick Brown.
Okay, so like I said, I kind of like the Zach McEwen trade.
That makes one of us.
He's a goof.
Yeah, I get it.
Something that James said is that Brandon Lemieux is not Mario Lemieux's son. It's Claude Lemieux's son, and so you have to keep in mind that's a big difference in talent. If it was Mario's son, it'd be a different story.
Dude, talent is talent by individual players. It doesn't matter whose son it comes from. I mean, that kid could be 10 times better than Claude Lemieux ever was.
You brought up Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, and I said he's a stud. I never said he was better than his father. I just said he had his old man's attitude.
Like his father.
I said he plays like him. But I said he has his attitude, but I never said he was better than his old
This
man.
is where I agree with Matty B.
Oh, here we go.
To say that the Flyers ownership doesn't care about winning is ridiculous. The issue is with the Flyers going beyond Fletcher. No Cubs in almost 50 years. Fletcher has nothing to do with it.
No, Fletcher has everything to do with it right here, right now. So I'm sorry. Fletcher issue is this. Bad contracts. Right. Last year injuries derailed that. Well, I look at it this way. Like he had a chance to rectify that this offseason. He had a chance to rectify that this trade deadline. He did not. I'm sorry. JVR would have been out of here for a bag of pucks. Like, what is he really doing? Okay.
Yeah, and here goes your boy, Steve. Steve says it is like Van Uke got blood from a stone in 2020. Then someone to shut off the switch. They just abdicated. Yeah, look again. You need to sell, and this was the time. I don't care what deal came in. You just get rid of UCAN. And he said, well, there was 2 potential teams in his post-game press conference. He said on Friday, he goes, there was 2 potential teams that were looking to pick up JVR, and, then they pulled back. So, and look, one thing I'll give Chuck Fletcher, he took it on the chin. He said, I might not even be here soon. So
that's why I think
the writing's on the wall for the guy.
I think he knows, and he knows he's not going to be here. My question is here, do you think they promote Tortorella?
No,
I don't want to say that
because I don't think Torts is looking for more responsibility. I think he's trying to right the ship.
Yeah, so and I agree with here, Matty B. Then the lying aggressive retooling was a lie. Then
I
trade
believe that was
services
all a
was
lie.
Yeah, again, that was
I
just
believe
trying
it was
to
a complete lie. I don't think anybody believed that, Matty B. I didn't believe it. Did any of you?
I
No.
mean, come on, aggressive retool, and then they don't get
Dave Scott doesn't care. He just says, "Here, we got Chuck Fletcher."
Aggressive retool means we got nothing. We're going to try to build something from nothing, but it's probably ultimately going to fail.
Yeah, and again, I will say Chuck Fletcher did say in his press conference, "It's my responsibility to get good talent in here," and he failed, and he admitted he failed. So again,
Well, to keep in mind, Al, the aggressive retool, you would think that the Flyers would have a fire sale
who
in
said
order
get off the
to
phone?
bring in assets.
Oh my God, Joey, get off the line. You're running the show.
You're ruining the show.
You're ruining the show. Stick to your own show.
That's your boy Dave Yarnell breaking stones. JVR was a disaster contract, $7 million annual. That was Hextall contract. No one was ever going to take that contract, even for a bag of puck.
Yeah, but he's in the last year of his contract. So, like, how much money is he really talking about taking? So, I mean,
there goes our man, my man Hakeem. He goes, "Pat, save your voice for Revolution Talk later." Just kidding. Yeah, that's my man.
the Steel Steps checking in.
Yeah, that's my man, Hakeem. So,
and by the way, this whole thing about trying to kill me for a jersey, bro. Like, it's not even football season. If it was football season and I was wearing this jersey, then I could see you getting on me. But it's March, bro. There's no football except for.
Listen, I'll get on any guy. Okay,
I'm sure you would.
I mean,
since the conversation came up, and Joe, thanks for joining us. We're gonna be cutting the show out here.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks, Joey.
Since we brought it up, I have a weird thing about jerseys, and it's not
I'll tell you,
it's not a slap against what you're wearing right now. But in my brain, and the way I was brought up, I only have a couple jerseys that weren't Philadelphia-based team.
Yeah.
And they're not wearable jerseys, like they're signed or.
Oh, okay.
The only jerseys that I wear, this is gonna be really weird. About 2 seconds. The only jerseys that I wear that aren't Philly are usually like funny jerseys. Like I have
like a Looney Tunes baseball jersey,
or Flint,
Charles Conway,
a Flint, Michigan Tropics jersey. It says moon on the back.
Yeah.
I have my Lower Marion Kobe jersey. I'll throw on every so often.
Yeah.
But like, it's a weird thing with me. I can't wear and not like. I think the only jersey I ever rocked, just like to go out in a jersey, as a kid, was a Michael Jordan jersey.
Okay, I have jerseys like back when jerseys were the in thing.
Yeah.
I still
they were the in thing for me because I'm a fat guy.
Yeah,
and jerseys are just a lot easier to wear.
Right, exactly. So I bought a lot of them, which is what they're called when you get a whole bunch of them in a box. They're called a lot, and I literally got a good deal on them. And I can tell you right now what jerseys I have, dude. I have this Chargers jersey. I have remember Dan Morgan that played for Carolina from Miami.
He's from Clifton.
Yeah, I have a Dan.
Oh, it's downstairs. We have a signed Dan Morgan.
I have a Dan Morgan powder blue Carolina Panthers jersey. I have a white Denver Broncos John Lynch jersey.
I actually have a Dan Morgan Miami. Like I had his Miami.
So
jersey.
yes, I like different teams. But I don't rock these all the time. Like if it's football season, you will not see me rocking this in a football season because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But do I like Sean Merriman? Yes, he was I digged him, dude. Man, I thought he was a great player. And guess what? I rock this jersey. It doesn't mean I'm any less of an Eagles fan because I'm rocking a Chargers jersey in March.
No,
if I'm rocking a Chargers jersey in September or October, then you can look at me and go, Fugazi. Like you wearing a Giants colored golf shirt the night the Eagles are playing the Giants in a playoff. That's Fugazi.
Thanks, San Diego Mike. Thanks for your input.
Oh, San Diego. Okay, New York Pat.
But anyway, listen.
Don't forget to check out Clear the Ice tonight.
Yeah,
Matty B got it tonight.
I was going to say who's on that tonight. It's not me. I will be off Clear the Ice because I will be heading to Clearwater. I'll be in Clearwater in the next 24 hours.
My man. Yeah. So look. So Mike,
I'm rubbing it in a little bit.
Mike, what's your final take on this Flyers?
That is my final take. Like my final take is you're a season ticket holder, do not renew your season tickets. If you think about going to a Flyers game, don't save your money. If you want to go see competitive hockey, drive an hour north and go to Allentown and go see the Phantoms. Same organization, but at least that team
Is in a playoff run.
it's in a playoff run. You want to go see playoff hockey? Go to Allentown. Okay, save your money. I would not give this organization a dime of my money, and it's bad because us three here in the room, along with Matty B, we got to cover the Flyers. And you know how painful it is. There ain't enough Jack Daniels in the world.
Right, it's worse than a root canal procedure. So
root canal? What the hell is
root canal?
He just said canal, didn't he?
Canal.
It's that damn Canadian accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you go north of the border for any time? Like, were you up there for a couple days or something?
That's what I'm talking about.
So Sorgi says he's got a Rod Tidwell jersey.
There you go.
I love it. That is a good one. I didn't even think of a Tidwell jersey.
I just ordered a Ricky Vaughn.
So I would rock a Ricky Vaughn jersey. I would rock a Wild Thing.
Well, they got a website now that does the Indians jerseys and it says Vaughn on the back.
Okay.
So I'll send you a link over.
You got me thinking here, Al. So, but anyway,
is that what that smell is?
Yeah, it's something burning.
Something.
But listen, Al, what's your final takeaway on this whole Flyers deal?
Oh, they suck. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to give you. Like, you want me to give you some magic that, oh, don't worry, next year they'll make them. No, I don't know. I have no. The only hope this team has, and I hate to say it this way, and it doesn't have to be a Bednard pickup, but they need a solid star, not a solid star. They need a star. They need a superstar.
Sidney Crosby might be available after this year.
I'm not selling my soul that far yet.
I would in a minute.
Yeah, I would too.
I would in a minute.
Listen, he don't. They want out, man. Sid wants out. You could just tell he don't want to be there no more.
If Sid wanted to come here tomorrow, I would pick him up from Pittsburgh myself.
Yeah, I know you would.
So, yeah, no. One thing about the last thing on the jersey thing is, I would rock. I can see the Ricky Vaughn one. I've seen this one here. I want that one. I can't do it. I can't do a Gilmore jersey. My buddy has one, but it's Boston.
Yeah,
and I can't do.
Can't support that.
I can't do that. I can't even hang it up with it backwards saying Gilmore. It just doesn't. It doesn't sit well. The Polk High jersey, I'd rock the Al Bundy jersey. I have to say that. I'd even rock the Shane Falco jersey.
So would I,
because it's not a real team. So I'm okay with that.
It's a fake Patriots team.
I would rock the Kenny Powers Myrtle Beach. Was it the Mermen?
Yes,
the Mermen. I would do that one. I'm going through a couple here.
Nobody from the Ducks? From the Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks, I would wear. I could do that.
The original Duck jersey, like.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the movie. Who would you?
The original Duck jersey, the green ones.
Yeah.
Would you rock a Bobby Boucher?
Yes. Joe Sullivan got one. Joe Sullivan actually got a Bobby Boucher jersey.
There's a couple different. There's a couple different Kenny Powers ones I could rock. The Kembas, I would wear one of those. Forrest Gump, I could wear his. His was what, Alabama, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's in Alabama. Johnny Utah, Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
You got that one. Average Joe's. I'd wear an Average Joe's jersey.
Yeah. I would.
Bad News Bears. I could wear that one.
I got a USA jersey too for hockey. I got a 1980 replica jersey.
They have a Roy Hobbs New York
natural
New York Knights one.
Yeah.
But look.
Go ahead.
Let's get into our last part of the show here.
Ray Finkel. What you got to wear? Ray Finkel last one. Sorry.
I got it. I got it in my closet somewhere.
I would get a Doran jersey. Get an Indians and have Doran.
They have that here. I'm looking at that right now.
The Doran? Do they really? Roger Doran?
Yeah.
Oh, I would so get that.
Yo,
or Jake Taylor.
I forgot the name of that kid. Who was that kid who shot the knuckle puck from the Mighty Ducks?
Oh, Banks.
Banks.
No, not Alan Banks. Not Alan. He was. He shot the knuckle puck.
I wear a Goldberg jersey. It was
yeah, Goldberg. I would do.
It was
from Philly.
He was what's it called? The goalie, right?
Yeah, he was the goalie who lost his job to a Czech. But
sad ending for that dude, man.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sad ending.
Hold on. I'm trying to pull up.
They did two from SNL. You think that's Kenan Thompson?
No, not Goldberg. That was a cute.
No, who shot the knuckle puck?
Oh yeah, that was him. That was it was Russ Tyler.
Russ Tyler.
Russ Tyler. I'm looking up. Yeah, but it was Kenan
He
Thompson
had
who played
that
him.
nasty knuckle puck.
Yeah.
But all right, so last part of the show.
I know a couple of women like that, though.
Likes the knuckle puck? But anyway, Mike, let's talk about it. Eagles finally hire a offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator. What's your thoughts?
Love it. I love it. They stayed in house with the offensive coordinator. They just promoted the quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator, which, by the way, he does have experience.
Brian Johnson,
He
yeah.
does have experience being an OC. He was the OC at the University of Florida. So it's not like the guys don't have no experience doing it. And I love the Sean Desai pickup. Like I said, I was talking with Joey and James yesterday when I was on the Patterson Avenue guys. I did my research on him, and he was very influential in Baltimore, and that's the style of defense he's going to run. That's why I'm thinking it's very big that they're going to sign Gardner Johnson, or at least franchise him to try to get that deal done, because he runs that very, very aggressive style defense that Baltimore ran. He was under Wink when Wink ran that defense down there, and CJ Gardner is going to be like our version of Ed Reed, and we already have Hassan Reddick, which in that defense is going to be like Terrell Suggs. You know what I mean?
Do you think he's going to be more like a Shake Steichen 2.0? Do you think? Because I wonder if he's going to have more of a mixture of a run game in there too.
Oh, you're talking about Johnson?
Yeah,
Johnson. I feel like I think they're going to evolve. I think he's going to evolve with Jalen.
you're right.
And what I mean by that is, I think the passing game is going to get a little bit better. Like, a lot of people are I think the Eagles did a kind of an under the radar signing that really nobody's talking about. And the fact that they got Greg Ward, they kept Greg Ward all year.
Right.
And I think Greg Ward's going to come back. I think Greg Ward's going to be your third wide receiver.
You think he makes a big bounce back?
Yeah, I do. Because that's what the Eagles were missing last year. Like, Quez Watkins, yeah, he can get down the field. But when you needed that guy to make that catch,
right.
If it was always either Devontae or AJ to make those catches. Like, getting Ward back, Ward to me is like this team's Jason Avant. Remember how Jason Avant, he wasn't a big, name.
He made some big
but when he
plays.
wasn't in there, you knew he was.
Yeah, like if he was on the field, you had to cover him. And even if you covered him, if the ball's around him, he's going to get it. And I think by them keeping Greg Ward, Zach Pascal's probably going to go get another payday somewhere else because, he was minimal at best here.
And he's done a great job being a quarterback coach. I mean, his whole career. If you go back his days at Houston, Mississippi State, great quarterback coach.
Yeah, he coached Dak Prescott.
Hey,
it is what it is. I think he was there when Prescott was there. But for me, I'm sorry, I got a real itchy nose for some odd reason. I'm either going to get a fight or kiss a fool. So
either way, you're screwed, Pat.
Oh, boy. One way or the other.
You're gonna get it, boy.
Oh,
but on me. The defensive coordinator, like I said, I'm really liking what I see with him. I also like the fact that oh yes,
we're in the hands.
Brothers. Yes, definitely. But no, I like them. I think they're going to be definitely getting. I think they got somebody really good. Pete Carroll was kind of upset to see him go. So usually if you're upset to see your defensive coordinator go,
yeah,
yeah,
it speaks volumes.
See you later.
Yeah, like he was kind of like, man, I wish he wouldn't go, but I understand why he's going. It's kind of not like our former defensive coordinator, where the GM had to remind him he had a job interview the next day.
Yeah,
like, come on, dude, like that's basically getting fired without getting fired. Howie fired him on some slick shit. Like, hey,
no, go take your interview. They really want you.
Hey, yo, bud, you got an interview tomorrow. Oh, do I? Yeah, you're gonna stay here and go interview for that job. I want you to get it. Like, come on, that was basically saying, dude, you're fired. You're not coming back to Philly.
Yeah, don't even think about the plane. Just stay here. We got you. We'll send you all your clothes through.
Yeah, send all your stuff through.
It'll be on the front. It'll be on the front lawn when you get in.
Right.
So again, and what's your thoughts on Sean Desai?
I just said that.
No, looking at his past and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's deserving of it, and
he's got the pedigree. He's got the guys he's worked under.
And he's Temple tough.
Oh yeah, he's a Temple guy. If that equates to anything for us, but we'll find out. Like, this is one of those things you won't know if you'll be missing Jonathan Gannon until you see. The one thing, you're going to get a little bit of a magic man thing from him. Like, we don't know what you're going to get until you see it. Like, he's, you might have some early on success because people, people don't know what he's going to bring. It's when people get some tape on him
Yeah.
and tape on his
Him-
defense, and let's see what happens. Because a lot of people feel like this Eagles season's going to be kind of a
step
A
back.
repeat?
no, like a retool, like a mini rebuild. Like they're not going to try to compete, but people are kind of like some of the big names out there, like kind of writing the season off already.
Oh yeah. They've
Yeah.
been doing that since Super Bowl ended because all the pending free agents, like the Eagles, can't retool. Like,
Well, what's some of the schemes that Sean Desade's going to throw out there, you think?
one, he runs a hybrid system. So in other words, he can go 3-4, he can go 4-3, he can go 5-2. You know what I mean? So he can mix up his
He
fronts.
also disguises a lot of blitz packages.
Yes,
he's that
and
kinda
he's
guy.
very big on getting pressure. He's very big on pressure. Can I ask you guys a question? And I was thinking about this. Say we lose BG and well, we know Fletch is gone, but say we lose Brandon Graham. Do you bring Khalil Mack in on a team friendly deal? Because he got cut. He got cut by the Chargers.
Is that why you're wearing the jersey today?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is a Merriman jersey, but I'm wearing it because.
messing with
But
you.
I thought about that because you stop and think about it. Even if you bring him in on a 1-year friendly deal, you put him opposite of Hassan Reddick. You got Khalil Mack on one side, Reddick on the other. That'd be kind of a nice little tandem there, man.
I mean, he's only 32, so it's not like he's super old.
Right.
I'll be looking at his contract. I'll get you that answer in a second. Let's see. So he would be due. He had a 6-year, $141 million. He is an undrafted free agent in 2025. This year he's due he'd be due $17 million. They have a dead cap hit on him of $9 million.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about he's getting cut. So they're talking about as soon as I guess the first day.
So he's
going to be a cat. He's going to be a cut.
So it would be interesting to see how they would work that out because this year he'd be a $9 million dead cap hit. So that might be a hard pill to swallow to bring him in. Next year he's only 4.5, so that's a little bit. The pill's a little easier to swallow. But he's worth 17.2 and 17.5 next year.
Yeah, but if he gets cut, he's a free agent. You can sign him for whatever you need him to sign.
Yeah, but
like he's not
work out, like you said, work out that friendly deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he'll want to go to a contender. You know what I mean? That seems to be like the new rage now with defensive players, star defensive players. They want to go to a contending team to try to get to a Super Bowl to win a championship.
So his cap hit would be 27 if they kept him. It's going to be a dead cap of $9 million.
Right. So it's cheaper for them to cut him. So
absolutely.
So they're going to cut him. And like I said, you could probably get him for vet minimum somewhere because nobody's going to sign him to a long-term deal. The most they're going to sign him for is a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, 3 if you really want him that bad. But yeah,
right. But that's what I'm saying. Not everybody. That's what I'm saying. Would you bring him in if you lose a Brandon Graham? If you lose a Brandon Graham, I think you can bring him in. He's going to apply pressure.
If
from
you
the
get
outside.
a deal from Brandon Graham, you bring both of them in.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine putting Khalil Mack in?
I just did. I tipped the table a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was with his hands,
and he can rush a page. So think about that. If they could literally do a NASCAR package if they wanted to for just Sean Desai's defense. You can have Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, and then on the 2 outsides, Hassan Reddick, and Khalil Mack. Coming after a quarterback, whew, and then you put the big boy in the middle. There's your 5. Right there. You have the Kobe Dean playing the 1 linebacker, 4 defensive backs. There you go.
Well, look, like I said, I'm already jonesing for some Eagle football already. It's crazy.
Have you guys been watching the combine at all?
No.
I
stopped watching Combine years ago.
Yeah,
Well, we were talking about that. I
it.
watch it on Twitter a lot. I was watching a lot, and if you guys follow us Edge of Philly Sports on all social media, we have been Dives is putting out.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
some great quick reels, about a minute or so long. Just give you a taste of different players in different positions.
Kelly Ringo's actually turning some heads, huh?
If you guys
there'll be plenty more coming out, so check it out on all our social media.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, Dive's doing a great job scouting out these guys, breaking them down. He's doing a wonderful job. Speaking of guys, look, we're getting ready to wrap up the show. So, Mike, let me ask you: are you ready for another former Flyer coming in Philadelphia tonight?
Who's coming in?
Come on, don't you watch hockey?
Yeah, I do. I don't watch Detroit hockey, so
yeah, you shouldn't know the league. But Robert Hay,
Robert Hag.
Hag,
Are you
were
serious?
breaking stones on
Uncle
Robert
Robert Hag. You know, I'm thinking maybe like Justin Williams or somebody like that.
I can see
Robert Hag.
I can see me and Mike sitting at the bar like 15 years from now. Remember Robert Hag? What a great flyer. I mean, like, what?
I know.
Talk about the most forgettable flyer list. You can put Robert Hag right on there.
Right on there.
He was great for about 6 weeks in one season.
He was here for a cup of coffee. But anyway, no, I'm only messing with you guys. So look, get ready to wrap up the show. I don't think we have really much of an interest. Just check out this game.
I mean, I'm going to check it
I'm
out.
watch
I mean,
it.
it's like an accident. Like,
Yeah.
you know it's coming. You know, it's going to be bloody and nasty and messy, but you still want to look at it anyway.
Yes.
I mean, I guess we're just tormented souls.
And like you said,
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Can't look away.
Look, the beautiful part about this business, you have your ups and downs. You have to cover this team and torture yourself. Yeah.
Oh, Pat does it willingly. Like Packet's on the post game with like, you know, chains and whips.
Yeah. Ball gags.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have all those tools.
He thinks he's lying, folks.
No,
watch him clear the ice.
I got a big spank me paddle with a Flyers logo on it. So, but anyway.
But guys, remember, St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. Get your Irish on and go to Delco's greatest Irish dive at 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. Brent Porsche from WMMR will be live on air from 3 to 7 that night, enjoying the 69th annual St. Patty's Day at the Big D, Dolan's Bar. Live bands, food vendors, drink specials, you name it, they got it. Go to the Big D for some great St. Patty's Day fun.
And guys, Philly Sports Trips is here. So again, guys, if you guys want to go out to see a Yankees and Yankees and Phillies game up in Bronx, go check out those guys. Hit up Vinny, my man Vinny, great dude. Tell me EOP sent you. Look, the draft will be here. Get your Eagles gear on. Go down there. Go check them out. And guys, look at this total package right here. If you're a 5-for-5 guy, you want to go see Union Soccer. You guys want to see Phillies all in the same weekend. Go check them out. It's going to be a great weekend out there in Colorado.
There he goes again.
Colorado. And if you're like me and after doing an hour with Pat, you just feel the urge to reach over and slap somebody, you know that's wrong and you're going to get in trouble. So if you get in trouble, why not look up our man, David Archeri, for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, like I about to do to Pat, criminal law. Make sure you reach him at www.cherryinjurylaw.com or at 610-565-0300 and tell them that the boys over at EOP sent you over.
And don't forget, if you're staying local, you need to grab that great ticket. You go to sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. No hidden fees. You will not get bamboozled at checkout. The price you see on the screen is the price you'll pay. And guess what? For using the super cool promo code EOP10, save yourself 10%. And guys, this is your lineup this week. It was a busy lineup. You still have Clear the Ice later, and you still have All Across All the Time with Gary, Sean, and Muffler Mike, who's putting out some great content as well.
Yeah, double G, double S, and double M.
Yeah.
Go check out those guys. Look, the Wings are in a playoff hunt. They are there. They are knocking on the doors. Tomorrow they face the Toronto Rocks. So, guys, if you're
Monday night game,
prime time. So, guys, if you're looking to someone to fill your Flyers needs, and the Wings are doing just that, go check out those guys tonight. Get all your Wings breakdown and all lacrosse if you're a big lacrosse head. And we got Clear the Ice. It's going to we're going to be breaking that all down for you. And of course, the Steel Style podcast coming to you live, the post game AEW with me and my man Hakeem. But anyway, guys, have a good one, and we'll check you guys out next weekend.
See you.